Kevin. I don't know if you heard about this. To say no to Kevin Feige, right? They'll call it the something committee, right? And Kevin Feige had to run all his ideas through them. You know what I mean? And like for example, they weren't too keen on Iron Man in the beginning, but then when Kevin Feige fought for it, they said yes.
Yes, you're right, because I remember initially they wanted to do. I remember when Jon Favreau came in, he initially wanted to do a Captain America comedy, right? But then he realized that, okay, no, let me not do that. Let me rather do Iron Man, and it worked. It was a huge gamble, but it worked.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So now the idea is when Avengers made insane amounts of money, Kevin Feige managed to convince Disney to get rid of the committee, which is why all the following phases are not doing as well, because now Kevin Feige's got unlimited control. That is the theory that's going around right now, which is why the phases are doing so badly.
But there's a rumor that someone, I don't think it was Bob Iger, I think it was Bob Chapek.
Oh, there's a drama in itself, yes.
Yeah, so Bob Iger was CEO of Disney, is the one that acquired Marvel, 20th Century Fox, a lot of things. Like he made Pixar.
Yes.
And then obviously he left because you can't be CEO forever. Then his successor, Bob Chapek, came in. Then there was the pandemic. Then they made sure to run with Disney Plus, which was an idea that I believe that I stand to be corrected, but it was an idea that Bob Iger had already put into motion. But because of the pandemic, obviously they had to push a lot of content on Disney Plus so that people can watch still, so that Disney can still be relevant, right?
Yes, it's
so.
Very
I think someone meddled. There was someone else who was in Marvel. I think he had been part of the. I guess he was part of the big guys in the MCU in Marvel's studios since its inception. I think he had a squabble with Bob Chapek, and I think Kevin Feige couldn't do much. Like some of his power was taken away from him or something like that. And then now that Bob Iger is back, he's trying to make sure that Kevin Feige now has his voice again and stuff like that. Something like that. I could be mistaken.
It's an interesting theory. I've heard the opposite, actually. Because get this. All right. Basically, the idea is that it's a Game of Thrones situation. Where basically, Bob Iger remember, he's been in power for a long time.
Well, since Steve Jobs was alive.
Yes. So remember, his board members are people that are, get this, most of the board members don't have a majority shareholder in the thing. So they're just there for Kevin. They're just there for Bob Iger. They're just there for him, right? So then when he left, right, and Chapek came in, Chapek didn't actually have that much power. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I see.
Because all the people that Iger hired are still there. Because think about it, what got cancelled that Iger was working on? Nothing. Do you know what I mean? All his ideas.
What was that?
I said, what was cancelled that Bob Iger was working on that Chapek came in? Nothing. Nothing was cancelled. All his ideas carried on as if he hadn't left. And then when all those ideas started not working, guess who came back? And then now look, Bob Iger's back and making decisions that Chapek wasn't. He's making bigger moves than Chapek has made ever. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the theory is that Chapek never had that much power in the first place.
Look, I think he came in at the wrong time because I think it was the Financial Mail, or was it the Financial? I forgot what it's called. It's the Financial Times. They said that the biggest problem is that when Chapek came, the pandemic hit. So it stopped him from making a lot of moves because what can you do? You know, during the pandemic, Disneyland was not that operational because of the pandemic. A lot of people couldn't go out to watch the movies at the theaters. Like AMC, I'm sure, didn't get a lot of foot traffic. So it was a nightmare. You know what I mean? So you're absolutely right. But I also think there was someone you're right. There was someone in the board, I think, who was trying to make a certain move to make sure that they get rid of Chapek, I think. I could be mistaken, but there was a thing there.
Surprised. Yeah, because this man, you're right. He had a losing hand. I mean, he had Disney Plus, and people were watching Netflix and all these TV shows more than ever, but it still didn't make that much money. Look at Scarlett Johansson, left unhappy, trying to sue the company.
He had beef with Scarlett Johansson, by the way. JPEG.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of that whole thing of releasing Black Widow.
But she stands, but
like a few weeks after, like a few days or a few weeks after Black Widow was released in theaters, he wanted to put it in Disney Plus, yeah.
And he knew that he had a profit share deal.
Right.
With Scarlett. He knew it and he did it anyway.
Anyway, yeah.
Johansson over.
Right.
And then he knew like, oh, we'll compensate you with some of the Disney Plus money. Didn't get a penny of that. So that in of itself tells you a lot about, well, first it tells you a lot about both of them. They're both messed up.
But then it makes me wonder if Scarlett Johansson will ever do anything with Disney ever again because of this.
I don't think so. She's got her money. She's got her fame. She can literally just do whatever she wants. She has her own production.
She's actually the highest. She's actually the highest. She's actually the highest grossing film actor at the moment. She's number one. She beat Robert Downey Jr. She beat Samuel L. Jackson. She even beat Zoe Saldana, which I genuinely thought that Zoe Saldana would be like in the top 3 because she was in Avatar. That's the first the 2 Avatars. She's in Endgame and she was in Guardians of the Galaxy. Plus, she was in. In my head, I'm thinking, why is Zoe Saldana not number 3 at least?
But they've choked down her character in Avatar too. Like she's not that big.
Is it?
All these movies, she's not that big anymore. I think Zoe Saldana probably has a terrible agent. I think that's what's happening right now. Either that or she has a terrible marketing team. Because I agree with you, she's everywhere. But what is she? How much money is she actually getting? Remember Keira Knightley? Remember Keira?
Remember she was hot at a point with those Pirates of the Caribbean movies, with Love Actually, with Star Wars, The Phantom Menace. What else was she in? Bend It Like Beckham. Yeah. Like she was in a lot of stuff in the early 2000s.
Exactly. But do you know this? Jerry Bruckheimer, famous producer. When they produced Bad Boys. Yes. They gave Johnny Depp millions. They gave level up millions. Yes. And they gave her less than $1 million, right? For the first one. Like they gave her like 100,000, some small number like that.
All right.
But it's early career, okay, fine. But then by Pirates of the Caribbean 3, Johnny Depp, Orlando Bloom are getting tens of millions. They're getting racks on racks on racks. Keira Knightley, like 5 million, something like that. It was a fraction of what everyone else is getting.
But why though? I mean, she was one of the 3. She was like the Hermione of the trio.
The pirate queen.
Right.
I mean, she ends as a pirate queen. And they didn't even talk to her about 4 and 5. It made no sense that she wasn't in 4 and 5. Orlando, it makes sense that he's not there because he's David Jones. He's gone every 10 years. Sharp. Where's Keira Knightley in 4 and 5?
Wait, because of what?
Remember at the end of the movie, Orlando Bloom's character Will becomes the guardian of spirits.
Oh yeah. But
so he can only touch land every 10 years.
It's something that we still need to mention as well, guys. I know we are derailing, but it's something that we also need to talk about because initially, Will Turner is actually the main protagonist of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes.
Jack Sparrow was just meant to be like the Watson.
Yeah.
Right. Of the story. Yeah. But because he became a breakout character, Disney saw that they could make more money with him than Orlando Bloom. Then all of a sudden, I think that's why Dead Man's Chest was a bit, in as much as it was entertaining, you could see the shift.
It drags in the middle because it becomes a shift because it becomes all about Jack. Yes,
all of a sudden it's about Jack, and you wonder why, because you knew that this story was about Will Turner,
Yeah. But you can just look at the fan base and you can see why it became about Jack. Yeah. Anyway. Yep.
Yeah, so basically what we're just talking about is the disasters that happen behind the scenes. Studio execs, CEOs, actresses and actors getting involved, scheduling conflicts, creative differences, payment cuts, the pandemic, stuff like that. So guys, if you're interested in that and if you guys want Rob and I to continue to talk about stuff like that, please let us know and we'll definitely make a special episode about that. Yeah.
Absolutely.